Hello YouTube, Camodo Gaming here, playing some more Scrap Mechanic. Today's going to be a bit of a different episode. I have started a new theme. If you recall, last episode of the theme park, I talked about it a little bit. I decided that I'm going to kind of alternate themes. Now, I'm not stopping the theme park. I'll just kind of go back and forth with episodes, but I started something completely new here, and I've spent a good, probably 8 or 9 hours so far on this build. And I'm really happy with the way it's coming out. Now, I talked a bit about doing some sort of moon base or moon colony, and that's exactly what I've started here. As you can see, I've got one vehicle. There's I don't know what we want to call that. I was going to call it like a Starfighter or something, but it's a work in progress. And you can see I've started the facility in the background. There's a lot to cover here today. Now, the facility inside, the interior is pretty bare right now. I've really been working on the exterior, and I've got a couple vehicles here to play with. Now, what you're seeing here is the moon truck. This is all using mods. And I know I normally don't do mods. I've only done it, I think, in probably the monster truck episode and then the biocide episode where I use the moon mod here. It's not going to be a normal thing. It's just going to be on this world. The theme park's going to stay vanilla. But I figured I'd go ahead and play around with some new parts here, and I'm really happy I did because these parts are absolutely awesome. You can see the new wheels here. There's these little bar pieces from the MJM mod. I've got a little bit of Derf in there. I've got everything. Realistically, Derf's got a mod that makes all the mods compatible with each other. So you have the Greygo, the MJM, and the couple of Derf's parts in here. And it's really awesome. Let me show you the interior here. You can see there's a lot of new switches, buttons, I mean everything. There's a little computer over there, which is actually a controller. It's a really neat mod because, I mean, it just adds so many parts to the game. It's kind of what I've been wanting in Scrap Mechanic because the vanilla game just doesn't have too many parts right now, and they've been really slow about updating it, so I figured I'd go ahead and do something like this. Now, I'm going to stick all this on the workshop, at least all the vehicles. I'll put the map up for download too. I'll note in there that you need the mod. And remember, if you're going to mod your game, always make a backup of your original game. But anyways, let's go ahead and jump out here and show you around. I don't know if I've really thought of a method to get out of this thing. I don't have a roof hatch. I probably need to put one on there. That seemed to pop out pretty good right there. But yeah, you can see just the wheels that I have on it are completely different. They're a lot bigger than anything that's in Scrap Mechanic. MJM even has like even bigger wheels, like almost like just mega monster truck wheels. They're absolutely crazy. What we're working off of here is the 2 suspensions set up on each side. It drives on 2 motors here. I really love the way it looks, all those little angled pieces. And let me clear my inventory real quick because I've got way too much stuff in here. Let's go ahead and clear all this out. That way I'm not adding any unwanted parts to the build here. But anyways, you can see all the angled parts that the Greygo mod adds and just some of the bars that I've been using. And I made a really pretty cool looking truck, I think. I was going to do a moon buggy, and I started a moon buggy, but the game didn't like what I was doing, and the moon buggy fell to the ground and it never showed back up. So I'm really waiting for it to fall out of the sky. Like any moment it's probably going to happen. It's probably going to crash the game, but anyways, yeah, this is a really cool truck. It's really pretty standard. It doesn't have anything fancy on it. It doesn't like fold out or anything. Probably going to put a tailgate on it. You got a little toolbox back here. Just some of these extra bumper pieces. They've got a really neat switch here, and it's actually a door handle, so when you click it, it actually kind of moves it over, and I think that might need to be aimed the other way. But yeah, I'm really happy with the way this truck came out. But yeah, let's go ahead and check out the other thing. Now, this thing is a work in progress. This barely flies. I was working on trying to get some sort of spacecraft out here, and I think I'm going to do something close to a shuttle, but I want it something like almost like a Starfighter. And this thing looks like a mix of like I would say like an X-Wing front end with probably the ship from No Man's Sky. I started building it, and at first it looked like the F-Zero ship, and then it started looking like the No Man's Sky ship. I don't even really know what the name is of it. But it works okay. It's not the greatest. I'm still working with it. It's just all these little thrusters. I mean, you've got to think of every little scenario that you can to make these things work right. But we'll fly that probably here at the end. I actually want to go inside the building because that's what I've been working on the most. Now, like I said, this building is pretty bare on the inside. I've been doing mostly exterior work. I'm really happy with the way it came out. You can see all the little bit of, I don't know if you want to call it decor, but it just, all the little odd shapes and stuff that you can add with these mods. I think it came out really good. I mean, I really could have just made this a big box and called it a Moonbase, but I'm looking to add parts to this, and this is where I'm going to get your guys' feedback, because this is going to be somewhat like a city or colony or whatever you want to call it. So there's going to be several areas that are going to need to happen in here, from living quarters to maybe some sort of cooking or farming quarters. Tons of things. I would like to have a garage and maybe a little launch pad. So got a lot of things to work on here. Let's go ahead and walk in. Now this is the main entrance. This is like an airlock. So you would hit this switch here. Those open up, and preferably you'd hit this one again. And then you've got these little, I don't know, decompression chamber or whatever you want to call it. Sure, there's decontamination, a bunch of stuff goes on here. But yeah, you do that, and then you're going to open up this one here, so you've got these double doors. Now, this is like the main reception area. The receptionist has control of this second door, so they can always close it from back there. Those are those sliding doors. Those are actually really easy to do. There's tons of tutorials online. Con Gaming's got a really good one about how to do these ones that fold up here on the top. Yeah, those look really cool, but this is the main lobby area. Now, I still have some work that needs to be done because you can see there's a lot of open areas, like you can walk up here, and then you can walk right outside. This is going to lead to another section of the base. Let's go ahead and go back here. Back here would be the reception area, maybe like an employee area back in this room here. And this would lead to another section of the base. This is another empty. Like, I'm putting these hallways here, that way I have like areas that I know I'm going to go into. Because this is a nice flat area back here, and as soon as I get over those hills, I think it flattens out. So I will go to the area that I have somewhat furnished. So we're going to go over into this hall. This is going to be like a living quarters over here, and I might extend this because I started building it and I realized that it's probably not big enough. So you can walk in here. This would be like the living area. I started a little couch area, got a table. I love the glass in this mod because everything's clear and it looks great. So I decided to leave a lot of this open where you can just look out all over the place. It's just really cool looking. But yeah, I've got a couple apartments, and I know these doors look a little funny. Realistically, I should probably switch this around to where this door's on this side, but I was thinking about extending this out and moving it to the left, so I don't know, I might keep this, I might not. These switches are actually, one looks like it's activated, one doesn't, but they're actually on OR gates, I believe. They're hidden up in the door. They're both sliding doors. These actually slide a little bit faster than the other ones. Actually, I think the timing might be off on that. I'm not really sure. No, I think they're good. Yeah, these are a couple little apartments. Like, I'm not going to build, when I talk about living quarters, they're not going to be like huge apartments. I'm thinking something like a simple setup. Couple beds. This one's actually got lights you can switch on. Those are really awesome. So you can turn those on and off. A couple beds. I'm thinking there's going to be like a public bathroom and shower area. I don't want to have to build like a bathroom in each individual apartment because that's just really a waste of space and resources. Like, I can easily get that done in one room. So that'll probably be somewhere close. It just kind of depends on how I split this up. Let's see, this apartment's basically the same, the 2-bed setup. I'm actually going to probably might move the beds against the wall. I kind of had them all aiming the one way. I was debating on how I wanted them to look. I kind of like against the window because I don't know, I pictured that being actually really awesome, especially here on the moon. But yeah, let's go ahead and exit that. Got a lot of interior work, but this just took a long time just to do the exterior. Because it's not like a town where you do a bunch of individual buildings. Everything should somewhat be connected, and that's why I've had these hallways. I actually have these sectioned out and saved on lifts now, so I can pop any of these hallways out at any moment and just weld them together. It was just the initial design work that I needed to finish. But yeah, it looks really cool, but this is kind of where I'm going to get you guys involved. What do you want to see? I know several areas that I need to do. Obviously, I need to finish the living quarters, have some sort of bathroom area. There probably needs to be like a mess hall. And there could be stuff that's just in cities. There could be some sort of leisure area. I don't know, like a restaurant, a bar. It depends on how crazy I go with this. Now, another thing is going to be, other vehicles that I can do in here. And like I said, there is a rover somewhere on this map. For some reason, when I took it off the lift, it freaked out and shot into the sky. And I don't even know how, because there was no thrusters attached to it. And the game lagged for a second, then it disappeared. And everything returned to normal. So I have no clue where that thing is at all. So if you download this map and you managed to find it, please let me know. You can save it to the lift. I'd like to have that rover back because I actually spent a couple hours on it. But anyways, let's go ahead and test this thing out. Now I warn you, I'm terrible at flying this. I need to use the WASD controls. I'd like to map it to that. Right now I have this on the number pad, and it's not easy to fly because it's so small. Like, bigger crafts are easier to fly because they seem to be slower, a little more stable. This thing it's a little bit of a handful. So let's go ahead and do that. Put our landing gear up. I actually probably need to speed those up. Let's see, that's the nose. 4 makes it go forward. Get some of the wings. The issue I'm having with it right now is the whole fact that it likes to nosedive quite a bit. And was that my rover? I almost thought I saw the rover down there. I don't know where that is. It's kind of heartbreaking. I really like to find that, but I think the world swallowed it completely, so I'm not really sure. But yeah, you can see this thing it's a handful to fly. I need to speed the back thrusters up. I actually probably need to just make it bigger. Like, it turned out smaller than I thought it was going to. Like, when I started it out, I had the front, and I actually had like a double cockpit setup. Like, I had almost like a Apache. I had the front cockpit, and then I had one setting on top of it. But yeah, let's go ahead and try flying it around one more time here. Need to speed those up. But yeah, I really love the parts, and the parts make a huge difference in scrap mechanic. Just having all these extra parts, these extra angles. You can see the glass. You can actually make it look somewhat like a cockpit. So let's go ahead and go forward. There we go. Should probably turn my particles on, that way you can see the thrusters. That looks a little funny without them. But yeah, this is a similar flight model, and that actually looks really cool from up here. I can only imagine when this thing's going to be really, really huge. But yeah, this is a similar flight model to the way Moonbase does it, but this thing, I'm going to have to remap these keys because it just doesn't work. It's actually doing fairly decent right now, but it's still not the way I want it to be. Because it'll eventually start doing what it's doing now, and it'll start tilting the nose. And I think I have the weight pretty stable, but it just doesn't seem to want to go the way I want it to. But anyways, let's go ahead and just take this thing back. I need some more forward thrust on it too. You can see it kind of stalls out a bit. So yeah, that is definitely a work in progress. This will not be on the workshop yet. I want to work on this, maybe add a little bit more to the back section, and just make it look a little less, I don't know, make it a little more functional. So anyways, that's gonna about do it for this episode. That was a lot of work. I know it's a little bare looking right now, but just keep in mind that this is a work in progress. I will put this up for download, but like I said, you need to have 3 mods. So what I do, let me crash this real quick. What I do, I always back up my game completely, put it on the desktop. That way, anytime you want to switch back to the original game, you just swap the folders out, and then I have my mod at 1. And I'll link Durf's channel. He's got a really good tutorial how to do all 3 mods. It's actually extremely easy. I used to think that maybe the modding was a little hard, but it's not at all. As long as you have your backed up copy, you are 100% good. But yeah, we're going to do this. We're going to swap back and forth. Like I said, the theme park is not done. I'm still working on the theme park. You guys have been sending me plenty of stuff, and I've got a couple more rides that I want to do, areas that I want to do. But I really wanted to mess with this moon thing because this is absolutely awesome, and I figured if I've got to mod it to get the moon, I might as well use some mod it parts. So anyways, if you'd like to like and subscribe, everything helps my channel. Tomorrow I think we're going to have some more scrap mechanic. It's going to be like a bonus episode. I normally try to do at least 3, but I think we're going to have 4. I've got a really cool viewer creation that I'm probably going to show off. And then I might be able to get around and do some more on this world. Maybe I'll get another one of those out towards the end of the weekend. I'm not guaranteeing that. But yeah, we'll do some other random games. Our unturned server is almost done, so that's going to be really exciting. You guys have been asking about that. And then we are going to wrap around, do multiplayer Monday, and then do another scrap mechanic. But anyways, hope you guys have a good day, and we will see you guys next time. Thank you.